All right, today we're going to take this 350 Legend out to 500 yards. This is a 20-inch stainless BCA 350 Legend upper. Just got it on an Anderson lower mil-spec trigger and everything. If you want to check out the original review video to that 350 Legend there, the upper from BCA, review video is in this exact configuration. I'll put a link to that in the description. Took it out to 300 yards in that video. And then I posted a follow-up video, just a little quickie 400-yard video. Got it out to 400 yards successfully. Put a link in the description if you want to check that out. Wind is really calm today, so perfect day for doing this. Now, most people say 350 Legend's a 200-yard gun, maybe 250. Winchester here only has a ballistics drop table out to 300 yards. And you know, if you're hunting something like deer, that's definitely pushing it, because you're gonna drop pretty low on the energy by then. Where you only got 600 foot-pounds of energy with this 180 grain hunting load here at 300 yards. So, and you're at 1230 there. So I would say about 400 yards, it's probably right on borderline subsonic. So we're definitely going to be subsonic out there at 500 yards. It's probably going to be going like 9 something to 1,000 feet per second. I would say probably in the 900s out there at 500 yards with a 180 grain bullet. So it's basically, I don't know, kind of like other than the caliber size, power wise, probably like a freaking 45 out there at 500 yards pistol. But anyway, so definitely not hunting ranges, but if you've been around on the channel long, you know I like to stretch the limits of things. So hopefully we can get some consistent hits out there at 500 yards a day with this 350 Legend. All right, here we are all the way back 500 yards. Got my gong set there. There's the very back of the range, which is actually 540 yards. So this is the 500 mound. There's my steel gong. We got the GoPro set up right here. Now that is laser rangefinder confirmed, 500 yards. If you want to get yourself a good budget rangefinder, link in the description of that one. Also got a link in the description of my shooting bag right there. And for that matter, my steel target out there and way more. Now the ammunition I'm using here, Winchester 180 grain PowerPoint. These are lead soft points. This is the same ammunition, but I believe this is the older design box. This is the newer. Hopefully they don't shoot any different. I'll be starting out with the older box here because it's a partial box. So here's what these look like. 180 grain lead tip. I've already pulled these out. They look identical, so hopefully they perform identical as well. Now, I don't have a ballistics app or anything like that, so I have no clue how much drop I'm going to get out there at 500 yards. I got her zeroed for 150, and I know with that 150 yard zero at 300 yards, it's, what was it, 29 inches low, I think? It says on the dang box here. Yeah, about 29 inches low at 300. So by then, it's starting to drop like a rock. I'm going to guess somewhere around probably 70 inches low at 500. So I'm just going to kind of go with that. I would have to aim pretty high with the scope, and I wouldn't be able to use any points of reference on this. This is not a mil dot. But even if it was, I'm having to aim pretty high over at that. So I am going to give her some clicks up there, roughly 70 inches worth. That'll hopefully get me close to the plate, and we'll just go from there. I got to work on getting it kind of zeroed out there so we can hopefully get consistent hits. Also, if you didn't notice, if you've been around long enough, I keep using the scope because I like it so much. We had a little accident where it flew off a real cheap shotgun, and this thing just keeps on getting me out there 500 yards, no problem whatsoever. Check out the parts, accessories, and optics playlist on the channel if you want to see more on that. So I'll get you guys zoomed in down there to start, and probably for most of the shots, but I'll see if I can get a few from like right there, or maybe from back behind me so you can see me shooting it. I don't know, since it's only going to be like 300 or 400 foot-pounds of energy at 500 yards. I don't know if we'd be able to hear the hit. I can hear it with my ear, but the camera doesn't pick it up real well. If I didn't already mention, I have the GoPro down there, so I'll be splicing in that footage. I gave it 70 inches of worth of clicks up, so just going to aim dead center, send one down, and see where we hit. And remember, that's just a blatant guess, because I have no clue how much drop I'm going to get out there. All right, should have been able to see that about 3 feet low, so I got to go higher. Dang, that's still really low. I must have been more than 3 feet low. Let me give it some more clicks up. Alright, so I did not realize until editing this video that was actually a bounce hit. You can see it hit the dirt there and then hear the light tinging sound when it hits it. So this confused me for a little bit. I did not realize that until editing this video. So I'm just going to skip ahead to the part where I got the zero figured out and got it on the plate, because that threw me off for a few shots. Okay, that one appeared to be just under the plate by an inch. Gave it some more clicks. We should be on the plate now. That thing's got to be dropping like 90, 100 inches out there. It's ridiculous. Keep in mind that one shot you can already see on the plate. That was from that bounce hit a little bit earlier. Both these cameras are timed perfectly with one another. The second ding that you're hearing, that's just how long the sound takes to travel back to the original camera. So until that shot there, you can see I had 3 dead center. The up and down height is almost exact. And then that one went really low. There's another center shot right there. Then I think I got another one high, another one low maybe. So that could just be me pulling them with that mil-spec trigger. Or it could be the fact that those are probably, or at least some of them, are dropping subsonic, as I said earlier, at that distance. And when you drop below the sound barrier after having been above the sound barrier, a lot of times, especially with this kind of bullet that's not very aerodynamic, it can cause it to wobble when it drops below that sound barrier. So that might be why some are hitting high and some are hitting low as well. I did jerk that one off the left, but I probably already told you that in the video by now. But other than that, they were all hits, 500 yards. Down to my last 10 rounds, but I want to get you guys, I don't know if you can hear it in this camera or not. Kind of up here where you can see me shoot and hopefully hear it. And if not, I'll have the GoPro footage spliced in, provided that it's still down there recording. All right, there you go. 500 yards of that baby, no problem. I made a few mistakes, but other than that, they're grouping pretty nice down there too. But let's go retrieve the GoPro and look what we did to the plate. Although I guess you guys already seen it in the GoPro. All right, looks like the GoPro's still alive, so that's good. Yeah, this first few hits, I mean, they were hitting way back there, kicking up the dirt. So I did have that one I pulled off the left. I don't know if it had to have been me. It's been pretty calm all day. I mean, it's blowing around a little bit and it switches directions a little bit and then it stops. So that one, I just must have yanked the trigger and went left. You could see there, most of the shots we're averaging right here, just left and right, and you see how level they are, right? So part of that's me pulling slightly left and right. Part of that's that wind changing direction. With that 350 Legend, the BC being so terrible on that, basically the aerodynamics, 2 miles an hour that way at this distance probably would blow that bullet 5-6 inches, and then 2 miles an hour the other way and do the same. So honestly, I think that's the main difference. We got this. I don't know how well you guys can see it in the video, but they got flags down here like that, and I could see them, you know, changing direction back and forth. It's kind of like a freaking vortex down here in this valley. So I screwed up on 2 there, pulled 2 low, screwed up on that one there, pulled that one high. You know, these were the beginning shots, trying to get a 0 on it. So other than a few that I pulled and messed up on, every time I got a good trigger release, and remember that's a mil spec trigger. So if you've ever, you know, they're not good. So whenever I got a good trigger release, we're grouping right here. There's only like a 2-inch variance up and down, and if there was no wind, put a better trigger in that thing. That's insane. I think this thing would have been grouping like 4 or 5 inches down here at 500 yards sub MOA, which, as I saw in the review video with those Winchester rounds there that we just used, is shooting sub MOA at 100 yards and beyond. So it wouldn't surprise me at all that it could print 3 to 4 inch groups down here, no problem. But anyways, you know, people say that's a 200 yard gun, and I just proved it's 500 yard capable. One of these days I might try 600, 700, 800 yards, whatever, just for fun, but I'm pretty satisfied with this for now. And I got some bonus footage. I was hoping that was like whole and expanded. That's part of one of them right there. Check this out, right behind it here. That's one of those. That had to have been one that skid off the ground up there and just happened to get through here without hitting any of this crap, and just went right there on the dirt with absolutely no energy left in it once it hit the ground up there. And there she is. And that right there, if this would focus, wow, not gonna focus. This is why these are legal in states like I'm in, like Ohio, where they don't want you using like a 270 or a 30-06 or something like that. After that hits the ground 400 yards, bounces back up and keeps going, that's still got plenty of energy to kill you. Whereas you can see here, this one bounced and just went right on top of the dirt, had absolutely no energy left. After it ricocheted there at about 450 or what have you, there was no energy left after that. It would not have went much further even if it was a wide open field behind it, because it had absolutely nothing left after it skid off the ground there at about 450. So that's the appeal for the lawmakers of these, is that they're a lot safer. You miss your target, whatever, you know, you hit the ground 300 or 400 yards out, it hits the ground, and then it's pretty much done for after that. Also, I think by design, with these being so short and stubby, when they hit, they probably tumble as well. They don't just like skip off and keep going like a rock on a lake, like those longer bullets would from a 30-06 or something. So I guess that'll do her there. 500 yards, no real big problem. Of course, that accurate upper and ammunition really helps, but it would seem the 350 Legend is capable of 500 yard shots, at least for plinking. So I appreciate y'all for stopping by and watching. Like I said, if you want to see the review video on this and see just what kind of groups it does print down there at 100 yards, and like I said, we took it out 200 and 300 yards in that review video. Put a link in the description to that. If you want to catch the 400 yard video, which I gotta say, the 400 yard video, it was a lot easier and put it in a nice little tight group, if I recall correctly, at 400. I'll put a link in the description to that as well. If you can get yourself one of these shooting bags, link in the description, rangefinder, even my steel targets, paper target stand, paper targets, and more. Anything you see me use in the videos, link in the description. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll catch you on the next one.